Liberal Dan Radio presents
Fat Man Rants!
Hey, it's Liberal Dan here. Time for another Fat Man Rant, this time talking about the impeachment hearings. You have Donald Trump's attorneys who were trying to make the argument that Donald Trump wasn't inciting violence by using the word fight, ignoring the context that his words were given, by showing Democrats saying the word fight in other context. Again, this is bad for two reasons. First of all, the context matters. Some of these Democrats were talking about proverbial fights, not actual fisticuffs, not actual using violence and weapons to get your way. Donald Trump was spending months trying to convince his supporters that this was a sham and a rigged election and it was being stolen from you, and there was only one way that you could prevent them from doing so. He clearly was inciting them. But even if Donald Trump's defense attorneys were correct in that maybe some of those Democratic utterances of the word fight meant to be done in a way that was inciting violence as well. I mean, your mama raised you better than that, right? Just because they're doing it, it doesn't mean you should be able to do it. So fine, if you believe that there are Democratic senators or legislators or whatever who are inciting violence or who did incite violence in the past, then bring them up on charges too. Just because they did something bad, it doesn't justify your bad behavior. But the main rant that I have here, and the main issue that I have with these spineless, gutless cowards who are sitting in the Senate, who voted to acquit Donald Trump for his clear actions that were bad, including Mitch McConnell. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell clearly believes that Donald Trump did something wrong that day, but is hiding under some false sham of an argument that somehow this whole process was unconstitutional because he's no longer president. Now look, the Senate was given the power by the Founding Fathers. The conservatives love to quote the Founding Fathers as being paragons of virtue and geniuses or whatever. So let's look at what the Founding Fathers did. They determined that the Senate should be the authority in an impeachment trial to determine whether or not somebody else can run for office in the future if they did bad actions. So this wasn't a political thing. It was something that the founders said, look, if you as the Senate decide that these people should no longer serve the federal government in any capacity, then you have the power to do so. So clearly, the founders wanted that there. So it's not political. It's specifically written in there that they should have that power because they should be the ones who decide that fact. That's one. Two, if you want to believe the legal theory posited by Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell that somebody who is impeached but is no longer serving in office can't be convicted on those articles of impeachment because they are no longer in office, you would have to believe that the Founding Fathers said, well, we're going to give the Senate these powers to not only convict on articles of impeachment, but to also rule that somebody can't serve in office from this point forward, except if they resign. It's ludicrous. The idea that the only thing that somebody would have to do, if impeached, would be resign, and then they couldn't suffer the consequences prescribed in the Constitution. Does that make any sense at all? Clearly it does not. I wish we had a time machine. We could pull like Thomas Jefferson right before his deathbed and pull him in and say, look, if somebody was impeached and then they resigned, should you be able to convict that person still and then say that they can no longer serve in office in the federal government? I have a feeling that person would be like, that's ridiculous. What moron said that you cannot convict somebody who was impeached just because they are no longer in office? And I would say that moron is Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. And if you agree with this legal theory posited by Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, then you may very well be an idiot too.
Thank you for watching another installment of Fat Man Rants here on Liberal Dan Radio on YouTube. If you support the channel, please subscribe to it, like the video, share it with your friends. If you would like to support the show beyond that, please go to patreon.com/liberaldan or patreon.liberaldan.com and you can support the show monthly. Or if you can't afford something monthly and want to just do a one-shot support of the show, just go to buymeacoffee.com/liberaldanradio, and you can support me there as well. Thank you very much, and have a good day.